The Galactic Alliance thought humanity was weak. Harmless. A young race too small to matter. They gave us a seat at their ancient table as a gesture of pity. But humans don't play by the rules, and the moment we spoke, the galaxy would never be the same again. For centuries, humanity dreamed of joining the stars. We sent probes, built colonies, and even reached Mars. But the truth was, no matter how far we stretched, we always felt alone. That changed the day the Galactic Alliance arrived. They were ancient, powerful, and impossibly advanced. Civilizations thousands of years older than us, bound together in a council that governed half the galaxy. And against all odds, they invited us in. The announcement shook Earth. Politicians called it the dawn of a golden age. Scientists imagined endless knowledge. Ordinary people cheered at the idea that humanity finally mattered on the galactic stage. But we didn't know the truth. The Alliance didn't invite us because they admired us. They invited us because they pitied us. The council chamber was a cathedral of light, vast enough to fit a mountain inside. Each species had a seat, crystalline thrones for the Zeth, water tanks for the Aqualith, nests of golden silk for the Savior. And then, shoved awkwardly in the corner, was humanity's seat. A simple chair. A symbol. A reminder. We were the youngest race ever allowed inside. Most members had barely heard of Earth, and those who had dismissed us as impulsive, violent, short-lived. When the Speaker of the Council introduced us, the room erupted in polite laughter. "Let us welcome humanity," the Speaker said, "the fragile children of soul, so eager to learn." Fragile. Children. That was how they saw us. The Alliance worked on traditions older than our entire species. Every debate followed ritual, centuries of precedent, endless speeches full of honorifics and veiled insults. We didn't understand half the words. Our translators lagged, confused by idioms rooted in alien history. On our first day, the representative from the Vadran Triarchy leaned over and whispered. "Don't worry, human. Just stay quiet. You won't be here long." And for a while, that's exactly what they expected us to do. The first vote we witnessed concerned a trade route. The Aqualith wanted access to resources in a system long considered neutral. The Zeth objected, citing ancient treaties. The debate raged for hours, flowery speeches, citations of history, ritualized insults. Every delegate followed the script. Until the human ambassador raised his hand. "Excuse me," he said. "Why don't you just split the system in half?" The chamber fell silent. To us, it was obvious. A compromise. But in the Alliance, compromise was a dirty word. Power was won through tradition, not practicality. The silence broke into chaos. Some delegates laughed. Others hissed in disgust. The Speaker slammed a staff against the floor, calling for order. But the damage was done. The humans had spoken, and they hadn't followed the script. From then on, every session turned into chaos. Where other delegates spoke in riddles, we spoke plainly. Where they circled a point for hours, we cut straight to the heart. Where they avoided offending each other, we asked blunt questions no one dared voice. Why do the Aqualith pay double for fuel? Why does the Savior get 3 votes instead of 1? Why are entire planets barred from joining, just because they're too small? Questions no one wanted asked. It didn't take long before the other members regretted giving us a seat. Whispers spread across the chamber. The humans are reckless. They don't understand our ways. They are dangerous. Delegates stopped inviting us to private councils. They sneered when we entered the chamber. Some even demanded our expulsion. But something unexpected began happening, too. Other species, smaller ones, ignored for centuries, started listening to us. The Mavrians, who had been silenced for generations. The Yelek, whose votes were always overruled. The tiny Solari, who had never spoken aloud in the chamber before. They began whispering back, what the humans said makes sense. It came during the trial of Keeler Prime. Keeler was a mining world, stripped bare by corporate fleets sanctioned by the Alliance. Its people starved while its riches fed distant empires. When the survivors begged for relief, the council dismissed them. "It is tradition," the speaker said. "Resources belong to the greater good." That's when our ambassador stood up. "No," he said. His voice echoed across the chamber. "You don't get to starve people and call it tradition. You call yourselves an alliance, but you're an empire in disguise." The chamber erupted in fury. Delegates shouted, guards marched forward, and the speaker demanded silence. But it was too late. The smaller races were on their feet, cheering. For the first time in centuries, someone had spoken the truth aloud. What followed wasn't war, not at first. It was a debate, an argument, a rebellion of language. Every council session, humans disrupted tradition. They called out hypocrisy. They rallied the ignored. The Alliance had survived wars, plagues, and even rebellions. But it had never faced words like ours, blunt, cutting, fearless. The chamber changed. Votes began to swing. Petitions poured in from across the galaxy. Entire worlds demanded justice, inspired by the reckless humans. The speaker tried to silence us. But every attempt only fueled the fire. Then came the day humanity proposed something unthinkable: equality. Every species, no matter how small, should have one vote. No special privileges, no ancient thrones. One world, one voice. The chamber nearly collapsed in uproar. The great empires threatened to walk out. The speaker declared humanity a disruptive influence that endangered the stability of the Alliance. But it was too late. The smaller races stood behind us. For every empire threatening to leave, 10 more begged to stay, under the new system. The council cracked, then shattered. And in the ruins, something new began to form. In the centuries that followed, historians would argue whether humanity saved the Alliance or destroyed it. But one truth could not be denied: the galaxy was never the same. No longer could the powerful hide behind tradition. No longer could the small be silenced. Because the humans had shown the galaxy a dangerous idea. That every voice matters. That power belongs not to the old, but to the many. And that sometimes, the loudest truth comes from the youngest seat at the table. When the Alliance invited humanity, they expected children. Fragile, short-lived, easy to ignore. Instead, they got revolutionaries. They thought giving us a chair would make us grateful. Instead, we tore down the table. And the galaxy has never stopped talking about it since.